Alright, I think that should do it, which is good because on Discord it seems like Doug is about to have a total meltdown, which is hilarious. I'm just 4 minutes late. Alright, we're just going to... Oh, sorry, hold on. Oh, what a way to start it. Okay, it looks like the ad should be ready-ish. I am going to start the ads manually, and Doug, I will address that as soon as that's done. So I will be right there. And for everyone else, good morning. Thank you very much for joining me. I am slightly later than usual by 5 entire minutes, according to Doug. I apologize for that. As usual, we will be doing our little pre-roll ads so that nobody has to get pre-roll ads for the next hour. But I don't want to start the gameplay until they're here and in and can watch. So if you're not interested in my spiel, go ahead and scrub ahead in the video until this little pre-roll screen goes down, or approximately 2 minutes and 20 seconds ahead, and the video should start if you're watching this on YouTube or on the Twitch VOD. Speaking of, if you're watching on YouTube, I would very much appreciate a subscribe. It helps out a lot, and if you like this kind of long-form content where it's just the replays of the day's games, it's an excellent way to get some nice, some hopefully relaxing sleep videos to watch. I try and be a very chill guy during the whole time, so if you like that, it'd be great to have you. Also, if you're watching... Okay, thank you, Doug. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, by all means, please do follow. I do this for fun, not to get big and famous or to make a ton of money, so if you're able to come hang out with me, that would be magnificent, because I always like more friends. Let's see. Oh, if you're having trouble finding me online, by all means, join the Discord. There is a link available in both the Twitch and YouTube bios. Just make sure you're logged in before you click it so that you'll actually get taken to my Discord rather than to the login page. Oh, sorry. We ran into that a couple times earlier on. So, aside from just joining the Discord, there are lots of benefits to it, including notifications for whenever I go live or whenever I upload a new video to YouTube. There's also more ways to interact with the stream, so you can have a vote on what game we play next, as well as what games you'd like to see me buy to play on stream, and countdowns for when I have to play my next horror game. And oh my goodness, it looks like the ads decided to screw up again, and they're going to run for another 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But I'm going to resume the game as if they're not. So, yeah, I hope you join. I hope you have fun. We've got a cool little community going. And I'll start the gameplay in about 4 seconds. Doug, I think you can still hear me, right? You're subscribed? Yeah, okay. So, as for why I'm late, and I am sorry about that, I actually went out about 25 minutes ago, I guess 30 minutes ago now, to try and make myself a cup of coffee so I could be ready and good to go for stream. And as it turns out, I had forgotten just how attractive the scent of leftover syrup is, maple syrup is, to insects. So I went to pick up a dish to put in the dishwasher, and I had those little black houseflies. Only like 2 or 3, but enough to cause major concern that there might be more lurking around somewhere, or soon to be more. So I had to do a real quick emergency cleanup of the kitchen where my dishes were. as well as putting out some bug traps to stop them from getting there. So that took a little longer than I expected. That took about 20 minutes. Had to put the dishes from the dishwasher into the cupboards so there was more room in the dishwasher. So that was fun. And now I'm here. So again, sorry I'm late. We are jumping right back into the gameplay. What is in here actually? Is this titanium? This is lead. Lead. And let's also make this gold and silver for now. And for the moment, you will be miscellaneous. Last time, we did an incredible job gathering resources. Oh yeah. I didn't think you were actually freaking out, Doug. It was just fun to play along with it. Don't worry too much. We're good. Lovely. Welcome back, Chaos. Thank you for joining. Alright, so we did an excellent job gathering all of our resources last time. We got a good start on the base, but there are still a few more things that we need to get going in order to really be, like, on the way to getting this game done. First off, let's make a repair tool and a mobile vehicle bay, and then I need a sea truck. Because all three of those will be necessary to progress anywhere. I really cheated last time by just free diving into that into Marguerite's base. That's not usually how you're supposed to do it by any means. So we're going to be trying to rectify that and make things a little safer going forward. Part of that is going to be getting the resources for this stuff. So I'm going to need to grab some silicone rubber from over here. By the way, Doug, I know you're doing dishes, so whenever you're done, just let me know and I can start, like, talking with you as opposed to doing the podcast thing. And Chaos, I'm assuming you're working as well, since you're not really saying anything except for the gong fart, so that's totally cool. I'm just letting you know what's up. You know I like to be as interactive with you guys as possible, but I know you're busy at the moment, so don't worry about it. No need to stress. Let's see. Oh, Chaos is home right. That's rare. Well, hello. How you doing today? I feel like this is rare, but it's so nice to have you, like, able to chat. What water? A little bit of water. I didn't grab any titanium? I didn't grab any titanium. Okay, that wasn't smart of me. That's okay. Oh, very nice. In that case, thank you so much for joining right away. I appreciate helping to wake you up. Good morning and welcome to WKLY Hero Radio. That would have been better if my radio voice hadn't been marred by bubbles in my throat. Well, that's fair. I actually wish I'd been able to sleep into 11 today, but I wasn't feeling too great through the night, so I woke up a couple times. Thankfully, I'm feeling better now. Hopefully, we shouldn't have any more issues through the day. But whatever it is about medical appointments, they always seem to kind of mess with my body afterwards, regardless of what's been done. So I'm glad I'm in better shape today. Speaking of the day, do you have any plans for it, Chaos? Anything fancy and exciting going on? Give me the peeper. Just gonna enjoy spending time with me for a couple hours and then go about the rest of it? Let's see, I need a lot more titanium. Nice. Potential is good. It's always... Fair enough. Playing it by ear sounds like a good idea. I end up having to do that a lot. You make plans with people, or you know you have to go out and do something, but they're all dependent on each other for when you can actually do things. It's nice to do that, but I also find that occasionally I'll end up just getting lazy. I'll wait too long for a single thing, and then nothing else will have time to go through anymore. And it makes me feel like a bum, because the end of the day will have come, and I'll have done absolutely nothing. What else do we have here? I'm still waiting for my batteries to recharge. I think I have enough for that chip. I'm kind of low on titanium, though. I've got enough for one. We're good. So I'm going to take these back for the moment. Really, I need to find more batteries, but I don't think they're nearly as prolific as they are in the first game. So we're going to have to play this by ear as well. I might have to make some, which would be unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I'll grab that sulfur. And repair tool, that's going to be necessary. Do I have the reinforced doors? I do not. Okay. I should probably go get those next. As soon as I'm done with making the stuff that's on the current list, that's what we'll do. So, take the repair tool off. I need to make a titanium ingot. Welcome back, Doug. Thank you for rejoining. How are you doing today? Copper wire, gold, and table coral. I don't have any gold. I'll have to go get some. My day's going alright, thanks. Certainly better than yesterday and the day before. Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds like you've had a few awful days in a row, Doug, and that's unfortunate. Ooh, what kind of vehicle are you looking at, Chaos? I bet I have more stuff over here. 2007 BMW, nice. Oh. Well, I am super sorry to hear that, Doug. I can't do much to change the days themselves for you, but hopefully when you're here it's a little more enjoyable. I hope I can help out at least a little bit with making your day fun. I remember, Chaos, and this isn't to discourage you from getting it. I just remember back when I was still working as a mechanic, which was quite some time ago now. But we used to call things like BMWs and Audis over-engineered German pieces of crap. I'm glad to hear I make your day better, Doug. because they were always so, well, over-engineered, I suppose is the best way to put it. Like, for example, they would have a lock nut on their tires to prevent them from getting stolen, but it couldn't just be a uniform lock nut. No, they all had to be somewhat unique, and it had to be in the glove box so that nobody else could just copy the key and steal it. But when owners would bring their vehicles in for tire changes or repairs or whatever, if they didn't have the key inside their glove box, we couldn't do anything with their tire because it was just locked on, and it was tremendously frustrating. A lot of vehicle owners got upset about things like that too, because it just happened over and over again. Again, that's not to discourage you from getting it. It's just a funny story because I remember that from, oh, another lifetime ago, it feels like. And thank you for asking about my appointment, Doug. It went not great, I guess. Like, as well as it could be expected to go, I guess. Unfortunately, when I'm coughing that much, it's very difficult to stay still. And if I can't stay still, then the very precise magnetic resonance imaging does not get a good picture. So, I tried real hard. No, I didn't. No. I won't hear back about the results for some time, because it is a workers' compensation thing, which means the specialists that requisition them get them first. Workers' compensation get them. They review the details, and then they let me know what's going on or what we're going to try going forward. And the scary thing, like I was saying before, is we still don't know why. We still don't know why I'm coughing so much, which means that at any point they could do a test and just say, well, that was the last thing we thought of. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with you, and it's just in your head, so we're taking away your ability to survive. Good luck getting a job like this. And that's always a concerning thought to have. So that adds a lot of stress anytime I have to go get a test or exam back. Yeah. It is not easy living with unknowns like that. I would be good either if they could figure out what's going on and fix me, or if they didn't need to be fixed, or if they said that they couldn't fix me and I wouldn't have to worry about proving that I'm unhealthy to them. Because the fact that I still need to do that sucks. That's true. Prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. I am very much the same way, Doug. Alright. Well, I think that was probably just a matter of phrasing more than anything. I do think it is a matter of phrasing more than anything, because it's very much similar to what I said as well. Just a little less hopeful. Because ever since I learned about Murphy's Law, that's how I've kind of treated things. Murphy's Law is, of course, that whatever can go wrong will go wrong. And so I work very hard to make it so that I prepare for anything that could go wrong, and then I'm never caught off guard. Doug, you're doing wonderfully, don't worry. I'm sure Chaos is just being a little bully because he just woke up. I'm kidding. I didn't think you were being a bully, Chaos. It's okay. Just teasing. Having a little bit of fun while I'm gathering resources. I have to be extra clear about that. I was actually playing Helldivers with someone the other day, and for whatever reason, I guess my tone of voice didn't mesh well with what was going on in game. And they kept thinking that I was like upset or that I was being critical of people when I'm just playing along with the jokes. So I try and be clear about that. See, I don't think I could just block out all negative thoughts, Chaos. And again, a lot of that is just because if I prep for when bad things happen, then bad things don't happen because I'm prepared for them. It's just the alternate answer to what happened. But if I block out those thoughts, then I'm never prepared. It's like fear, right? Fear is not something we should actually be concerned about because it protects us. When we're afraid of things, that means our mind is trying to tell us, hey, this might be a bad idea. It's just when we let that fear hold us back from doing things that we end up missing out on life. We need to know when it's actually worth pressing on or when the risk is worth taking. That one I wish I could say that was a life lesson I learned inherently just through my own experiences, but I just happen to agree with that thought. As long as you're not over-prepping or overthinking, I'm sure that's fine, Doug. There is a problem that can occur when you're focusing too much on the negative, where you self-sabotage. It's called having a self-fulfilling prophecy, where you foresee something bad happen, and because you're expecting it to go that way, you end up maneuvering things to make it occur, whether you mean to or not. So, for example, in relationships, if you're expecting to get cheated on, then you will constantly be suspicious of your partner. You'll constantly be worried about it, and those suspicions and that paranoia can end up driving a wedge between you and your partner. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's one thing to think about, let's say, what happens if I go out and it rains because there was an indication it might rain today. So you bring an umbrella or a sweater or something with a hood, right? And it's another thing to think, well, what if I go out and I run into somebody that I don't know or that I don't like and I end up having to have a conversation with them and they bully me and so I won't go out. Like that's taking things to the extreme level, and that can inhibit your ability to enjoy your life. But prepare for the big things, things that could have major negative impacts, and then hope for the best the rest of the time. That's true, Chaos. Belief is the foundation of life. The only, and like I said, I'm not trying to disregard that. But for example, that's why they say you should always try and keep 3 months of living expenses as a minimum in your bank account. Like that's your emergency fund. That's your reserve for if something goes wrong. Say you get tremendously sick or you can't work for a while. Oh, thank you very much, Waylord. I appreciate the Prime sub, and welcome back. How you doing today? But yeah, that's why they say that you should have, like, 3 months worth of living expenses. Because in case something happens, it is not the end of the line for you. You're prepped for it, but you're not hoping that it does go wrong. And I am doing all right. Thank you very much for asking. We were just talking about all the things. We were talking about our life experiences and philosophies, which is quite the topic for first thing in the morning, but it ended up happening that way anyway. How is your day going? Do you have any plans today, Waylord? Anything fun and exciting you're working on? We actually came up on that topic because of my appointment yesterday for my brain scan. Ooh, started Return of Obra Dinn. Okay, okay. While I can certainly appreciate that worldview chaos, I do just want to point out that I'm trying to avoid any sort of political or religious statement. Philosophy is one thing, but we're trying to make this a relaxing place, right? So, while I very much appreciate the good thoughts behind that, just keep them as minimum as you can, please and thank you. I'm not mad about it, I just don't want to alienate anyone or cause dissent or discord within chat. And I hope you can appreciate that. It's very easy to take one side or another views on those issues, and I don't want to have to take one side or another views. We just try not to bring them up. I'm here for a good time, not a smart time. Alright. I still didn't get any gold while I was down there. So an interesting thing about this game is this weird little thing that just happened, the experience we just had. Is that there are these creatures floating around called sea monkeys, and ordinarily they're really annoying little creatures that will try and steal stuff out of your hands. And what I did was I installed a mod to prevent that. So they don't grab things anymore. But as soon as we had that experience and this alien is now implanted in our head, they stop trying to steal things. And in fact, if we have anything pinned to our construction bar here, they will actively try and bring us those things. It's just that until you get this rather annoying alien entity inside of your head, they are tremendously frustrating to deal with. And the alien entity is pretty annoying himself, so I try and put it off. Alright, so we're going to put the copper back in. These are going into miscellaneous for now. I need another glass. And I need some food right away. Some food and some water. I am running really low on basic resources. Oh, excuse me. Right. We're gonna grab some fish. And we're gonna make some food and water. And then I still need to go back down and get more gold. Oh, you guys want to see something interesting and kind of terrifying in equal measure? At the very least, pretty unsettling. Okay, one sec. I gotta go up and find an iceberg. I don't know if you've seen this game before or like have any particular experience with it. So there are these little creatures that look like penguins. And they kind of float around on icebergs and they swim around in the water. And I want to show you these adorable little guys. Where are... They're there. So we're going to go over here. So these guys swimming in the water. But here's the thing. They have some very cute little babies waddling around up here too. See these little guys? Ah, god damn it. I'm going to have to jump. There we go. See these little guys? Aren't they cute? But if you pick one up, suddenly everything becomes angry and tries to attack you. Also, they do have these weird little mouths that open vertically in their head. That spike is actually its mouth. There we go. You see, look at that. Isn't that weird? Okay, you go back. You go away. I don't want you. Why am I still technically holding it? Oh no, that's not good. I tried to release him, but it's not... Oh, that's why. Oh, that's not good. Oh no. Okay. Uh-oh. So this could be a problem. You see how at the bottom of my screen I have all of these like extra hotslots? There's 9 of them, 10 of them down there. So the last 5 have actually been added by a mod, and unfortunately, while the mod works for most things, if it's deployable or droppable, as soon as there's anything in there, it's kind of glitches out. So I'm not sure what I can do here. That's a good question, Doug. I don't really know. I just wanted to pick them up, and instead, I get this. So the problem here is, if I do that, I can't do anything, and I don't think if I save and reset it will fix this. So I think we're gonna have to lose that progress we just made. Damn it. Okay. That's unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. But it's the only way to fix that. Yeah.
All primary systems online.
Unfortunately enough. Thankfully, we didn't do a crap ton. We just got some extra resources. So... Oh, that's so annoying. There's some things that have glitched out in here that I also didn't do. So, for example, I was talking last time about how the vehicle in this bay, the sea truck, has a glitch where if you're pointing downwards, you can just pop out of it. But if you do that, since they updated the game version or whatever, you can no longer get back in. It's just a huge problem, and it can freeze your game. So I really need to be cautious about making sure that I'm saving more frequently in order to prevent this from happening as much as possible. Actually, last time that I played, I ended up losing about an hour and a half to 2 hours of progress to something like that. And I stopped playing for a while after that, because it was super annoying having that happen. So we're not going to go that way. Yeah, that's going to have to be my life at this point. But for now, we're actually going to change our mind a little bit. I want to gather up some gold, because that's what I'd actually come down here for in the first place, was looking for gold. And then once we've got that, we can actually go back up and save again. We'll just have to redo that cutscene. I might even do that off camera, because it's kind of annoying to see it twice in one session. All it really does is take time. Mr. Rossetti? Yeah. Okay, let's grab that. I never had to fight Mr. Rossetti over anything, but I remember hearing about it. And I thought that was the worst possible mechanic they could have put in. Like, every time you close your DS, he pops up and gets mad at you. And then they did that really evil thing where they end up pretending to delete your save file. Oh, that would annoy the hell out of me. Yeah. I've heard about other games doing that too, but in different ways. Like the pretend punishment in that game is literally to punish you for closing your DS. But I've heard in, like, what is it? It's not Resident Evil, but in another horror game. Yeah. But in another horror game, there's actually this scene where, as part of the psychological horror, it shows after you've saved, or when you're trying to save, that it's erased your save file. And oh, I would rage so hard about that. I think they actually did that in Metal Gear Solid as well. I don't know for sure. I haven't played any of the Metal Gear games aside from Rising Revengeance. I've heard they're interesting, but weird. And Kojima has always been unusual that way. I hear his games are fun. Invisible what? Sorry, did I miss something? Did I say something? I've forgotten what I was talking about now. No, I don't. I am sorry. But I would like to learn if you'd like to tell me what we were referencing. Oh, right. By the way, Waylord, you said you just started Curse of Oberdin? Well, you started Oberdin. I am hoping it goes on sale with the Steam sale that should be coming up at the end of this month. Because I would very much like to pick it up. It did seem interesting. And especially because you're enjoying it, that means it will probably be fun to play. Because you were also the one that recommended Case of the Golden Idol to me, and that was interesting. A little frustrating, but also interesting. Huh. Nope, I haven't seen that one. That must be new, because that is not a familiar thing at all. And I have been around for quite a few generations of memes. You know what the depressing thing is? I was actually at the liquor store the other day, And I was talking with the guy who was there, who was manning the counter, and I guess he's the son of the liquor store owner. So get this, the fellow that is usually there, the liquor store owner, he goes by the name Tut, or at least that's what he told me to call him. And Tut has been working at that same store for so long that I actually bought my alcohol from him the very first time I was old enough to buy liquor. Why would there be a store dedicated to licorice? Not quite that kind of liquor. Yes, liquor is alcohol. I wasn't sure if you were being silly by saying that, but yes, liquor is alcohol. Um, LBAGAU. Miscellaneous. No problem at all. So yes, liquor is alcohol. And so at that store, when I became of age, and even for I think probably a year or two after, I still didn't go out and get alcohol because there is a bit of a realization that you're an adult once you actually become that age. So I went and I got alcohol for the first time from my local liquor store, and it was Tut that was there, and that was, I don't even know how many years ago now. So now it's his son that I interacted with that night, who we were talking about how Tut just feels like he's never going to retire. And then it shifted to the fact that I don't know if I'm older or younger than the son that was working there, but Grim will just love how closely this dates me. I was a child before the internet was a thing. And then I was growing up with the internet being taught in schools as this revolutionary new idea, as computer labs were being built. And then I became a teenager and an adult with internet cafes around, and now the current life that we have. And it's so weird. We were talking about it, how titanium, Tut doesn't feel like he's going to retire or like he's never going to stop working. And my dad is the same way. They came back from trying to retire in Europe, and as soon as they got back, my dad instantly started doing projects around his house to keep himself busy. And it's so weird to me because our idea of leisure and of relaxation of retirement really is very different. We like to enjoy things and to just kind of hang around and enjoy what we have. But in the case of the older generation, they didn't have those sorts of leisure times. So to them, retirement is just working on the things you want to work on instead. And it's such a foreign concept to not be able to relax, really, Also, it made me feel ancient to be able to say I was around before the internet. Like, how weird is that? And it's one of those things where, growing up, we still had the projectors for things that were happening in class. The little transparent sheets with the information printed on that would get projected on the wall. And it would be a big thing when they'd roll in the TVs on their stands to watch a movie during class for whatever reason. It was quite a different age. This is a sea monkey, by the way. No, I agree. That's very similar to Exactly what I was saying, Doug. They don't really know how to relax. Their idea of life as they were raised was you grow up, you get a job, you raise a family, and you work until you die. Well, that's not my definition of a sea monkey. That's literally what it's called. Like, if I go scan him... where'd he go? Here he is. Sea monkey. See? I'm not making that up, I promise. They just call him a sea monkey. Alright, so I need to remake the repair tool, mobile vehicle bay, sea truck. I have enough gold for it now, so that's good. I just need to grab a few more pieces of titanium. Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing, Doug, is the game very specifically states that this is an alien world, and so if it doesn't give things scientific names, the PDA, which is naming them automatically, will give them easy to remember names for you. So that's why sometimes they have silly names like a peeper fish, or a sea rabbit, or, you know, stuff like that. It's not so much that they're the same as they are on Earth, but it's related to things that we would know. Also, holy crap. Well, I'm sorry your dad killed your sea monkeys, Doug. I can see how that would be very frustrating for you. You know, back when I was a kid, we used to live next to these little monsters. Just these little kids that I don't know that they knew any better, and kids do stupid things without real malicious intent when they're young. And so one time I remember they tried to feed my dog, but they tried to feed it like antifreeze or rock salts or something stupid like that. And I'm sure they meant well, not realizing it was poison. But yeah, it was unfortunate. Thankfully, my dog didn't die. It was fine, but we were a lot more careful around them at that point. Yeah. But damn, getting scorched in a car is not a good way to go. I am sorry to hear your sea monkeys went like that, Doug. That's rough. Okay, so we're back in now, and I should have everything I need for the mobile vehicle bay, I think. Oh, good. I'm glad you got new ones. Also, I am saving more frequently now, just in case. It's still sad when the ones you have disappear for reasons that are not your fault, though. That is super unfortunate, Doug. I'm sorry to laugh at that. It is kind of funny, though. It sounds like he just might kill all your sea monkeys by accident, yeah. I forgot to grab some more silicon. It is. Sometimes the unfortunate things do end up being humorous. Like that fall I took the other day, or I guess like a couple weeks ago now, where my shoe did that comical thing where it just flew over my head from behind. Falling is not nice, but the shoe flip completely off my foot was pretty entertaining. Where are all the seeds? They should be here. Why are they not? Creepvine clusters, where are you? Don't need to go down there. What do we have going on here? This is not where I need to be. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to grab this. I'm taking 2 because I'm going to plant one of these. I do have that little base section in beneath my base. That little exterior grow bed. Which I hope this won't grow all the way up into the sub area. That would be kind of frustrating. But we'll see. I can always just chop it down later if I need to. Plant that. Plant that. This needs to be split so it can grow. Good. Alright. So we are kind of back on track now. Funny thing about me, says Doug, I used to call Skittles mosquitoes, and I would confuse everybody when I asked for sour mosquitoes. I can imagine, yeah. That would be quite the unusual thing to be asking for. I'm stealing this story from the Game Grumps, but Danny said that his sister, when she was young, used to call spiders Baidus, which I thought was also kind of adorable. I have that stuff. Baidu. Baidu. Yep. Isn't that a cute way to say a spider? It makes them significantly less terrifying than they are. I got a Baidu in my room. Okay, so we got that. I need to make... Did I seriously run out of titanium already? I did. Okay, that's fine. We'll make do. We're gonna take this. Grab these. Gonna make this. And I'm gonna have to take that off of my pinned list because I don't need that. Pinned list down. Good. Lubricant and... oh, computer chip. Also, I found a stink bug at school, but I didn't take a picture. It was so pretty, a mix of green and yellow outline and red on its antennas. Nice. Because stink bugs only stink if you crush them, right? Like, it's their insides that smell bad. They don't just give off a stink naturally. I think that was how it went. I'm not particularly up to date on my bugs. Gotcha. Okay, okay. I need... what do I need? I need gold, and that should be it for the computer chip. I mean, I suppose if you wanted to teach kids the value of a life, just put them in a room full of stink bugs. The more you crush, the more awful it's going to smell in here. Treat them kindly. I need another seed because the ones I have haven't grown. Alright. That's fair. Because I've heard, surprisingly, skunks make very good pets. Just the wild ones get scared and aggressive as a result. Why am I getting nerded? What happened? I didn't do nothing? I've heard skunks make good pets. I thought that was a reasonable thing to say. I'm going to take this out of there. Because I want this to not go into slot 5. I'm actually going to save just in case. Because this is another deployable, which means if it's in one of the back 5 slots, it could glitch out my game again. And I don't want that to happen. Huh, fair enough. I mean, I don't really consider that nerding out. I think that's just how conversation tends to work, right? For me, that's a very normal flow of conversation. That might be a self-defense mechanism because people your age don't like learning things, but you are hanging around with grown-ups now, and usually learning things is cool. Being passionate about things is cool. Alright. I have heard French people can get a little interesting with how disinvested they try to portray themselves. I may also have been slightly skewed in that opinion because I remember Robin Williams telling a story about when he was in France for some reason, and he speaks very reasonable French, but he went out and he was trying to have a conversation with a French person, and whether it was a joke or reality, the French person decided to get snooty and be like, I speak English. Just like in a completely frustrated manner, decided to tell him not to try and speak French. And it's like, well, why can't he try? Like, that's the point of learning. Actually, speaking of languages, interestingly, I hear, and I think Nat was also telling me about this, but there's this interesting phenomenon that happens when a white person goes to Asian countries, and there is a form of, it might be a form of soft racism, where even if you're speaking their language, they will try and only speak English to you, even if you assure them that you do speak. It's not a joke. We don't really like people speaking French because the accents kind of piss us off. But it's not a good reason to be snotty about it. That's fair. That's fair. There are some times where I can relate to that, though. Like, for example, my grandfather, I think I told this story, he was Portuguese through and through, and part of Portuguese is that, although my dad will disagree, it's kind of like a lazy man Spanish, where a lot of the sharper sounds of the language are mixed up, they're slurred. So you get a lot of sh sounds instead of s sounds. And that carried over into when my grandfather tried to speak English, because he would get lazy in the things that he would say. So it was like he had an accent, but it was more, it came across as a lack of care about what he was saying. And so I can understand how, if French people are hearing that in their day-to-day life, with everyone trying to speak their language in a different way that could be construed as lazy, I can see how that would be frustrating quickly. Not everyone can be patient, not everyone can be understanding. Yep. I totally get it. I totally get it. I am the type that is fairly patient and understanding with people, so it's not the concept of getting upset with them seems strange to me because people are trying to learn. But by the same token, it's amazing how easily people get hurt when you try and correct them on things, or when you want them to understand what they're saying wrong so they can fix it, and then they get offended like you've said they're not intelligent. That I can imagine as well, yeah. I could 100% understand that. Did you see that video of the lady in Japan who was in this like historic town where they hire people as actors, or you can go dress up in traditional kimonos and stuff? And this girl is walking down the street in a kimono, and this rude, super rude lady isn't taking the idea, she isn't taking the hint that this girl in the kimono doesn't want her picture taken. So she keeps running ahead and snapping photos without her permission, just over and over and over again. Like, some people are so socially inept it becomes painful to witness. And I can absolutely understand why people get annoyed with that. Right? I don't consider myself photogenic or, like, attractive, especially because I am much bigger and much more bald than when I was young. So my self-image is very different. So I shy away from pictures a lot, and I get pretty unhappy when people try and force me to take pictures. It feels weird looking at myself and having a progression of, this is what I look like now, but this is not how I appear to myself in my head, you know? I think the easiest way to describe that would be a form of body dysmorphia, but only for pictures where it's in retrospect. And that's a phenomenon that actually happens with like burn victims or people that have had plastic surgery or reconstructive surgery, is they don't have the face that they remember anymore, so they feel like they're looking at a stranger or like they're looking at themselves in the wrong body. And I can imagine what that's like, and it's not a pleasant feeling. Oh, I get it. I totally understand, Doug. You don't need to explain that part to me. I fully get what you mean by that. And I can understand how it would be annoying. I'm not doubting you on that front at all. Alright, where are we going? I have lead. I was looking for glass. I got enough glass. I think I might actually have everything I need. Okay. So let's go back up to the base. I actually forgot why I was going out for a second, and then I remembered, thankfully enough. But I needed the stuff to make myself a sea truck. So let's see, I need batteries, which means 2 of these each. Thankfully I have a lot of them now. 1, 2. And this is going to get cut up so more can grow. Inventory full. That reminds me, when I focus, I look super disgusted and annoyed. And I saw this guy with a bunch of bandages on his face, and he was with his girlfriend, and was trying to check what he had on his face, and I looked super disgusted, and the guy looked super sad. Yeah, staring is usually frowned upon for a number of reasons. I imagine that's one of them. Poor guy was probably super self-conscious of them to begin with. Alright, we're grabbing that. And I need 2 copper. I get you. I do. I understand. Technology. Make the battery there. Did I remember to grab 4? I did not grab 4. Ugh. That's okay. We're gonna go grab 2 more. I might actually make some extra batteries just to make sure I've got a reserve here. That'll be better. Oh yeah, because I ran out of space. That's why I didn't grab more. We're gonna start charging you. Which means you could help it. It's just something you don't want to help. Hooray! Welcome, Nat. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you being here. No, you're fine, Doug. You know I like having people to chat with. I do this so I can have conversations with people. We're gonna ban that guy, though. There we go. Yeah, I get it. I do. Kid took a while to sleep, and then I had to put the topping on hubby's cake for tomorrow. Fair enough. Well, I appreciate you making time, even though it sounds like you've been busy all day, Nat. How are you doing? It certainly seems like you've had a busy day at the very least. Titanium ingot. The long day was long. I'm happy to finally chill. Well, I'm happy you're able to chill as well. And it's so nice to have you chill in here with me. I appreciate you. We have been talking about all kinds of stuff today. I think I made Chaos sad a little while ago, even though I didn't mean to. We were talking philosophy for a bit, and yeah, well, so here's the thing. We were talking philosophy for a little bit, not like the deeper things of life, but our approaches to when there's difficulties in life, or how we can look at things, and the different perspectives we can take on it, right? And as much as I appreciated where his thoughts were coming from, he started talking about Jesus and the Bible a little bit, and I was like, politics and religion, no matter how well-intentioned, are things I don't really want discussed on stream. Not because I have anything against them, but I don't discuss my personal beliefs for the same reason. It's just kind of a contentious topic, and I don't want that to, like, bleed over into what should be a fun space, right? And it's not that I'm mean, it's not that I'm trying to put anyone's beliefs down. It's just better not to bring some topics up, you know? It is, unfortunately enough. And I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by saying that, so I'm like, just so you know, I'm not mad. I'm not saying this because I'm upset at you or I think you're wrong or anything of the sort. It really is just, I don't want to bring the contention in here. Should be an enjoyable place. And then he stopped talking and I felt bad. I think I might have hurt his feelings with that. Which is super unfortunate. Like, super unfortunate. It do happen, though. And then we talked about tourists, yes. And sea monkeys and staring. Yep. Very much so. Hopefully he's okay. I did not want to offend him. I hope if he watches this part of the video later or wherever that it's not something that makes him sad to hear that I'm recounting. I need a computer chip, which means 2 table coral. Sometimes when I start getting into the flow of thoughts, I say things that are not necessarily hurtful, but they should be inside thoughts. This is true. This is true. I mean, nobody ever likes getting called out or asked not to do something. And, you know, I am pretty laid back when it comes to that sort of thing. Like, I want to let you guys express yourselves however you want and to say whatever you want. It's just those two particular topics can become so contentious so quickly that I can't, I just don't want to risk turning the room against itself, you know? Hard conversations are okay to have one-on-one, but I don't want to end up creating factions based on beliefs. Yeah. Okay, have fun. See you in a moment. Hooray, sea truck. Alright. I need to prep some more food and water. I'm actually going to go inside and save right now. Strawberry shortcake sounds delicious. Actually, I've never really understood what is the appeal of shortcake. Because it's always kind of... I think it's kind of harder than regular cake, right? It's not spongy and soft. Because I think of cake as like Black Forest cake, where it's puffy and airy and there's lots of fluff in it. I did save, right? Yes? Yes. But I think of shortcake as being dense, kind of like cornbread. And I could be wrong about that. I'm just not 100% sure. I'll grab this. I have no idea. I thought strawberry shortcake meant fraisier, French version of the cake. I mean, it might. I'm just not sure. I think it's a different thing. I think. I need a couple more of these water fishies. But like there's different kinds, right? So there's sponge cake, and then there's shortcake, and there's like pancakes, and there's loaf cakes. And I think they're all super fluffy and creamy. Okay. See, when I think of shortcake, I think automatically of shortbread, which is kind of... it's not as airy. I think because they skip part of the rising process. Again, I'm not sure about that. Or I guess I should say, I'm not sure about that, because I didn't say again. I didn't need to repeat that at all. But yeah, I think there is a difference in the process through which it's made, which is why it's distinguished from just general cake. Alright, that should be good. We're all filled up on food. Drink some of this water. Good. Alright, let's save again. And now we're going to go down... and we're going to do part of the scary bit. So... Nat, if you're back, I apologize in advance. Strawberry sponge cake is more Japanese style, fluffy and creamy. Okay. That's what I had assumed. And shortcake is more dense, right? Okay, okay. Oh, I forgot about that. How was my crush depth so low? What the heck? Plasteel and enameled glass, okay. Oh, right, okay. Welcome back, Nat. Thank you for rejoining. So I was just saying... No problem. But I was just saying, this might be the part you're not going to be super enthused about. So I apologize in advance if that's the case. But we are going to be going down into a scary area here. So sit tight. I will try to make it as non-scary as possible for you. It's just a heads up that it is going to be a little weird. Because these are the second scariest creatures in the game down here. Shark squids. And then the worst are actually even a little bit further down. They pretend to be plants. And then they grab you with tentacles as you're going. And it is super frustrating. Fabricator. Gotta get a couple more diamonds from somewhere. Yeah, I'm not saying much at the moment because this is a super tense kind of area for me. And I am trying real hard not to get jump scared. I have national evaluations tomorrow. I don't know what national evaluations are, but I hope they go well. Hopefully everything works out in your favor and you do good. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I think this is just a thermal vent, to be honest. No, this is just a weird section at the bottom. That's just an interestingly shaped thermal vent, as far as I know. Okay. Which means I'm not allowed to study because I need to go in there natural. Haha, that's funny. I'm assuming that's a joke, a play on words. And if so, excellent joke. If you're not, that is a weird thing to say. That's a weird test to take. Fabricator again. Okay. I think that's actually probably good enough. Let's go up. Before we get jump scared to heck. The thought that they could prevent you from studying before the exam? I thought that was funny. Go away. Go away. Yeah. This is the advantage, Nat, by the way, that makes this game less scary. When you have the sea truck, you can just ram these things. You can make them roadkill. So he's dead now. I didn't have to do anything. I just ran into him with my ship a little bit. You can't do that in the first one. The Seamoth is made of paper. This thing is a freaking tank. Yeah. Poor monster, but he is trying to eat me. I'm just saying, that's what makes it less scary. In the end, they will see if I study, because if they find my level lower throughout the year, they lose their minds. That's interesting. Like, for that matter, what if you just were studying for the 2 or 3 days leading up to it, and so you got a higher grade? Like, how are they going to prove that you studied the night before? That seems silly to me. Diamond. I need to make... Right? Like, how are they going to prove and say, oh no, you studied the night before when you weren't supposed to? Like, no, I was studying the week before because I make it a habit to review things since I've been trying to bring my grades up. Hey, perfectly reasonable excuse. What are they going to do? Tell you you're lying? I don't know what to say about that, really. I need a sea truck depth module. Here we go. Plasteel and enameled glass. Titanium ingot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's always hilarious to me when teachers or someone call you in thinking that you've done something wrong with absolutely no proof, and they grill you expecting you to fess up even if you didn't do the thing they're accusing you of. Like, what are you expecting here? You can't just tell me I'm lying if I'm not lying, right? But I guess they are trying to rely on kids not being all that smart. As cruel a thing as that is to say. That's fair. That one's reasonable. That I could see them having some sort of proof of. See, back in my day, we just had textbooks and notes that we had on paper that they couldn't do that with. You know, like, what are they going to do? Stop you from opening a book? Or for that matter, couldn't you go to the library and still study there on the library computers? Something like that? Yeah. I was actually talking to Doug about that earlier, Nat, about how Grim would have loved the conversation we were having because it dated me a little bit more. But I was at the liquor store the other day, and I was talking to the cashier about his dad, who should retire but isn't retiring. And then it turned into a discussion about how I was there before the internet. 86, yes. $69. $69, dude. Wild stallions. Anyway, yeah, I'm 69. That's hilarious. 86, 69. But it is weird to be able to say that I have been around since before the internet. Even if it wasn't long before the internet, I have been around before the internet. I'm looking for quartz. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not that old yet, Doug. I'm at least 63, okay? I'm at most 63. lmao gaming. I hope you all like mashed corn. Or like that guy in the meme video. Oh, it's Saturday. Banana pudding tonight. I don't even know why 67 was so specific. Mashed corn. Can't chew it anymore. Oh, I have enough. Okay, good. Oh, right, Nat, you did miss something earlier. Unfortunately, as opposed to when this game was released, there are a lot more glitches now. And one of them in particular interacted with my my mods for extra hotslots on my bar. And I froze, and I lost like 30 minutes of progress. It was very frustrating. Yeah. I didn't freeze, but there was a glitch where it was showing that I still had something in my hand, even though I didn't. And if I save the game and reload in that state, the whole thing goes kaput. I don't even know if I can make a backup save of this file. But I think I'm going to have to look into that and hopefully start doing it. Because I don't want that to happen again. That would be bad. Yeah. And I think I mentioned it before too, but this is actually the second time I'm trying to play Below Zero on stream. The first time was like 2.5 months ago, I think. And again, at that time I didn't have any viewership, which is the same reason that I replayed base Subnautica as well. And it just wasn't fun. So we're redoing it. And like I didn't complete it last time, but I did end up glitching just with the base game, not even with mods at that point. The vehicle that I have, the sea truck, it's got this glitch where there's supposed to be an animation where you come off of the controls and then you climb out or you walk around inside the rest of the submarine. But the issue is, if you tilt your submarine down, you can just skip that animation. And at some point, it skipped that animation and then wouldn't let me back in my sea truck. It just completely broke the game for me. So I lost like an hour and a half to 2 hours of progress that day. I was not pleased, let me tell you. I was not pleased at all by that. Where is my ship? Or my base? I don't remember. Yeah. It's kind of a bad thing when your scary alien underwater horror game is scarier because of the bugs than about the actual sea creatures. Oh, alright. Good night, Doug. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you being here. I will be playing for about 30 more minutes, but I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Hopefully you do well in your natural exams or national exams, whichever it was. So, how are things going for you, Nat? Anything fun and exciting going on? Honestly, as long as you know what you're doing, you could probably beat it in like 2 to 3 hours. You don't even need any of the technology, really. Like, I'm just getting the things that are here for fun, like the submarine and stuff. That you can skip an awful lot of it. Like that, fair enough. Fair enough. So I imagine you're busy, but not overburdened with stuff, which is good. It really is. So, I don't think you're going to be spoiled too much if I tell you this. here's the interesting thing, is this was initially supposed to be a DLC, but they made so many changes to the engine that they used that they had to release it as a standalone game. So, there's actually... I mean, I could go do that again to show you, but part of the game is that you're looking for your sister who disappeared, or like you're trying to find out why she died. And in the process, you discover an alien who inhabits your body and like shares your brain with you. And then you're, for some reason, deciding to leave the surface with this alien. You just have to remember you have to help him remember what happened, and then build him a new body, and then you leave the planet with him on his ship. It was kind of dumb, to be honest. I think this is the weaker of the two games by far. But, you know, it's still pretty. I think it's definitely streamer bait, cashing in on the fact that Subnautica 1 was so very popular. And rightly so, because Subnautica 1 was very pretty, or was very fun. But they decided to add in so much more dialogue and like direct storytelling that it's no longer really a concerning or a scary or a lonely experience, which is what made the first one so good. Right? Like, you were, in the first one, stranded on an alien world. You were alone. There was no one there to help you or to talk you through. And every time you thought you found a survivor, you were just finding remains when you went to look for them. And it was a terribly scary experience in that regard. And then for this one, it's like, nah, there's ruins of everyone that's been here all the time. There's civilization. Your ship that you're in is so ridiculously sturdy and comfortable that you can literally just steamroll every threat. If there's something in the area that's dangerous, just run into it until it dies. Get out, repair your ship because it's so sturdy it doesn't need to take damage. Yeah. I mean, pretty well. If there's a Leviathan class creature in the area, you can literally just go roadkill the Leviathan to death. Or just hit it until it runs off to a different area. And then it won't bother you at all the entire time you're walking around there. It's super weird like that. Like, the fear factor is basically non-existent. The sound design is still good, but the fact that you don't need to actually be afraid of anything, you don't need to be cautious of their territory, has taken out so much of the fear factor of the game that it's less interesting. It's no longer like a scary exploration where you have to be careful of your every step as you're going in, and it's much more of almost like a theme park ride. Like, you know you're safe as long as you're on the cart, right? You don't get off, so everything's okay. That's why I was telling you. I'm like, I don't think you're going to be super scared by this one. When I went to get those diamonds earlier, just after you came back from talking to hubby, that was the scariest part of the game, and that wasn't even all that scary for you.
Ooh.
Oh, that's totally fair. I'm not enticing you to play this one. Hey, Grim. How you doing? Welcome back. Thank you for joining. So nice to see you. Haven't heard from you in a couple days. How you doing? Did you break anything? And if so, was it fun? You managed to miss Doug earlier. Actually, you missed a surprising amount so far. I had to lose a half hour of progress. because I glitched the game. I made Orc sad because we were talking about religion, and I told him we probably shouldn't be talking about religion. Nat was talking about birthdays and things, and how she's been super busy as a result. Ooh, real life people is nice. Color me jealous. I would like to do that more. Well, it's been an eventful stream nonetheless. Also, I will fill you in on the part that you missed because I know you would like to know. I did date myself a little bit more. I was talking to the liquor store guy the other day, and I was talking about how I was around before the internet. For a little bit before the internet. And then I grew up with it. So that should help you narrow it down. There were also jokes about me being 86 years old, and then 69 years old, and then 67 years old. I'm not sure why Dad latched on to 67, but... I'm sorry, life's falling apart for people. That is unfortunate. And Grim, just so you know, like, I know I told you before that I have to be careful about how much I'm DMing you, but, like, if you need to vent about stuff like that, because you're tired of being the one that everyone unloads on, by all means, you can hit me up in DMs about that. I am absolutely okay to take some emotional stress off you if you need. I know you have a husband that can do that for you, but sometimes husband is going to have problems too that you don't want to discuss with him to make him feel bad. So, just let me know, okay? You do not have to stress about things alone. Yes, many virtual hugs. And they have to be virtual because you are a small bean and I cannot send you a virtue tall hug. Somebody is not a good artist. Okay, well, just in case. I didn't think you were doing badly. I just wanted to let you know that you could if you needed to, okay? Grim, stop throwing things at me. I'm sorry. I was just trying to be nice. Don't hurt me. Not the belt again. Every time I start talking about that, I'm reminded of Adam Sandler's stupid internet things from years back. The severe beating of a high school janitor or a high school science teacher or whatever. And it's just sounds of someone getting terribly beaten up with silly sound effects in the background. Alright. Why can't I scan this? I need that. There should be an interior... Oh, I do have it. I did scan it. Okay. Good. We're good. We are good now. Don't need that. Don't need that. Guess I'll scan the bed. Do you have any plans for the rest of the day, Grim? Doing anything fun? I'm doing okay. I was telling Doug earlier about the fun, scary things about getting that MRI yesterday, and it not being great in the process. Oh, no problem. It's just nice to have you around when you're here. I say that to everyone, and I do mean it. It's not a bad thing to have real life to deal with. I will never be upset if you're MIA or gone. I will be concerned because I hope everything goes well for you. But I understand real life happens, and I just hope everything is okay when you're not here. Is the basic idea. It do. Me too. I have no idea if they did or not. It's one of those things, like, I suggested that they immobilize me when we made the appointment. I asked if they needed to do that, and they said no. They just scheduled me for an extra 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, whatever. I tried, right? And then I get there, and they're like, you have to try and be still. This camera will take pictures, but if there's even a millimeter of variance, they'll come out fuzzy. Yeah. And then I'm on the table, and I'm coughing so hard that my whole body is convulsing to the point that I'm actually sore today. Like I've done a workout because I was coughing so much yesterday. Or I guess 2 days ago now. But I'm actually sore like I've done a full body workout. I was convulsing so much. I knocked the camera loose off my chest twice because I was coughing so much. And like I couldn't control it. And when I was laying down, I did my absolute best, but I had to press the emergency stop button twice because it felt like I couldn't breathe. I was coughing so much I couldn't get air. I felt like I was asphyxiating. So that was wonderful. And then the scary part, as always, is the even though I tried my damnedest, if they decide, thankfully not yet, at least not as far as I know, but if they decide that they couldn't get good pictures, and then they say, well, that means we're out of ideas, you must be making it up, then my ability to survive goes away, because I can't get a normal job like this. I can barely stream for 2 hours a day. Like, what would they be thinking about that? So hopefully nothing bad happens, is all I can really say on that regard. I was reassured by my current caseworker that even if they say that it's in my head, they treat psychosomatic symptoms as real symptoms, because it's not that I'm making it up, it's that my mind is making it real. And so if the specialist that I've been waiting to see for over a year determines that it is psychosomatic, then there's no problem with that. They'll treat it as psychosomatic symptoms. I'm not sure how they would fix that, but yeah. Hopefully it helps. That's all I can really say. That is a good question. That's the thing about our Canadian socialized healthcare. Things kind of run on their own schedule. So I have, for example, been waiting for over a year. I've been triaged to see him. And I still get letters every 2 to 3 months saying, you're still triaged. We'll contact you when there's an appointment available we can make for you. But I have literally been waiting over a year for this appointment and still haven't even made it to the scheduling process. So, yay! Yeah, that's fun. That's life. I just get to live in constant concern that they're going to remove my ability to survive. It is incredibly stressful. I blame Doug. She didn't do anything, but it felt funny. I just wanted to say something humorous because it was amusing to me. Where is... I did scan the... Here we go. This thing. Anyway, Grim, you said Heroes of the Storm, or what was the other thing you were thinking of playing? Skyrim. Oh, Against the Storm or Skyrim. What is Against the Storm? That makes me think of when I went in to get my ovary cyst looked at, and they said I needed an ultrasound thingy, and said it was best to have a full bladder, so I was holding my pee forever and was never warned that it was going to be an internal ultrasound. Ooh, yeah, damn. Yeah, I don't blame you. That seems like an awful thing to have had happen. This is what I was doing. I need to pin this. I cannot pin that. Lead, titanium, diamond, computer chip. Lead, gold. I need another one of these. Yeah, that is super unfortunate, and I'm sorry to hear you had to go through it. That sucks. City management game sounds cool. I have a few city management games, and they're fun for a while, but when there's no real end goal to them, I end up eventually just stop playing. Or eventually I end up just stopping play. Stopping play would probably be the better way to say that. Talking about her chickens and eggs. Not realizing you were suffering like crazy in the process. How rude. How rude indeed. Oops. Hey, Anvil. Welcome back. Thank you for joining. How you doing? Put that there. That's fair. Oh, fun. Well, hopefully the work call went well. And I do believe you, Grim. It sounds... Just from the name, it sounds a little bit like... Oh, what's that one that I have? I gotta look it up. There's that one game I have that's like winter survival management. What's it called? I'm just looking through my game list again, because I cannot remember. Frostpunk. Yes. You nailed it, Anvil. It sounds a lot like Frostpunk. That's what I need. Enameled glass, C-Trip depth module, synthetic fibers. I did beat the first one, yep. There were a lot of individual challenges I didn't get to, but I beat it twice, and I found out that there actually are at least 2 different endings when you beat it going all the way down the tech tree and not going all the way down the tech tree in either system. It was pretty cool. The ending cutscene was a little anticlimactic, I guess. I was waiting for something different to happen. But the fact that the story is just like, Oh yeah, we survived the big storm. Yeah, it's not really a different ending, but you know how at the end of the ending, if you've gone all the way down the tech tree, the words at the bottom, or like the ending cutscene narration is like, we may have gone too far, we've done some things we didn't like, or something like that. Well, if you don't go all the way down the tech tree, if you don't finish off with either like becoming a god yourself or an authoritarian dictator, then it just says, yeah. And if you don't go all the way down, then no matter what you've done, if you haven't researched that last point on the tech tree, then it just says, and yet I don't think we went too far. And that's it. That's the separate thing, is you haven't installed yourself as a dictator or a god, so they're like, yeah, you didn't go too far. You did what you needed to survive. It was kind of like, it was interesting to have seen that one time, but it was kind of anticlimactic. That was the only thing. Although it was interesting that I consciously made that choice before the end of the game. Like, I don't think I need to do this. Yeah. But I had played the game well enough that I was like, I don't think I need to research this last tech tree. I think I'm good without doing this. And it actually had an impact because of that, which was neat. I thought it was cool. It was the same. Like, they come with a lot of the same decisions. It's just that instead of constantly being monitors with cameras and stuff, you enforce punishments with, like, faith-based shame walks as you walk them around naked in the cold when people disobey. Stuff like that. Like, it's the same general idea to establish and maintain order, but a different way of going about it. Is Goblin Cleanup... Oh, Goblin Cleanup is the messy cleanup sites, right? Where you're mopping up blood and stuff? Blood and viscera? I haven't played the second yet. Delta Station Dock. I need to go out this way. The first game of that type that I saw, Grim, was you were a janitor cleaning up Santa's rampage of his workshop. So you were cleaning up elf viscera off of a floor. Like your mop bucket got red with blood and you had to go flush it out. I never played it, but I saw someone else play it, and I don't remember who. And it's like, Santa went on a murderous rampage, and you have to clean up the remains of the elves now. Oh, Nat, by the way, I'm just giving you a little bit of forewarning. We are currently heading towards the big bad beast of this game, or one of the two. I don't think you're going to be too scared. I'm just letting you know, okay? It's not... I don't think you'll be super scared by it. But it's coming up. Because as we go over this way, what I'm looking for is a giant way down. There should be a hole in this area. Of course I say that, and it gets dark just as I say that. Is he over here? I don't see him over here. These things are cool. Check these out. So these are called Titan holefish, and they're not dangerous at all, but there's like a little air bubble in the center. So if you're running out of oxygen, you just swim up to this thing and you can get some more air. I think it's such a funny creature. Yeah, Titan whole fish. Go figure. Where is it? Suck that fish. Grim, why would you say that? Why would you make me say that, Grim? Alright, let's see here. Pilot last known position. It's not that way. Yeah, those guys are cool. We got to briefly see them last episode as I was swimming back. Where is he? He should be here. He should be here somewhere. Maybe out this way more? Not that one. I gotta find some spiral plants so I can make synthetic fibers. That's why I gotta come over here. That's the giant squid looking thing, right? The Kraken mabobber? Yeah, the one that was advertised. I'm not looking forward to that one because tentacles make it hard to dodge, and that scares me. Like when you go down into the cave system of this one and the fake plants grab you with their tentacles, that freaks me the hell out. I do not like that at all. Everyone's gonna fight it in a prawn suit. That's gonna be the funnest part about it. Yeah, so down at the bottom of the area I was in earlier, there's some plants that look like plants, but they're actually creatures of some sort. I need... oh, go grab this. What I need right now is some synthetic fibers. And for that, I need the coral, spiral coral, which should be somewhere around here. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to find for the first time. And if I can't find it here, then I have to go look for it inside the giant Leviathan. Okay, I wasn't expecting that sound, and I might have jumped a little bit. But you can't prove that. It might have been kind of mean of you, though. I'm just saying. Yeah. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Where is this thing? And more specifically, I gotta get back to my sea truck because I'm gonna run out of air soon. Spiral coral? Feather spiral coral thingy? I might have to go... I can't. There's none this deep. I might have to go a little further the other direction. $298. I can't go any lower. I know it's down here somewhere. I find it here all the time. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to locate. Because it doesn't really stand out against anything else. There is no Cyclops in this one. You have something called a sea truck, which is a modular-based vehicle. It is like the sea moth as its own thing that you can detach from the rest of the modules at any time, and that's the one that's fast and maneuverable, except that it's also built like a freaking tank. So it's really easy to roadkill enemies in this one. You don't even have to, like, really get out of your truck to repair it most of the time. You can let it take a lot of damage. Hey, look. That guy is basically a mantis shrimp. You know how they've got those super powerful punches? That's basically what he is. And that was the Shadow Leviathan's tail that we just saw. Okay, I gotta get back to the ship, or I'm gonna die again. Yes, do not let him punch you at all. He will actually try and fight the prawn suit, which is hilarious. Like, he makes a habit out of trying to pick a fight with it. Yeah, it's funny. Ooh, I'm cutting it close on this one. What about beans? I didn't eat beans. What about beans? I'm sorry. Did I miss something? I was busy trying not to die. Dude, where the heck is this stuff? Well, that's okay, because I have actually been playing for the 2 hours now, so I'm going to probably give up on the spiral coral here for now, and go back to base. Okay. Wait. No worries. I'll finish talking after. This is why when Chaos the other day was talking about other ways to send me money, I was like, nah, prioritize subs for now. I don't want people getting ads. Because ads suck. Oh, is it that? I don't think it's that. I'm gonna have to check. Down we go. No, it's a pitcher plant. Where is the spiral coral whatever? I know it's down here somewhere. I do, but I cannot find it for the life of me. And that is super annoying. And my sea glide is about to die too, so we're just gonna go back up. Unfortunately enough. And then I think next time we'll go check out the Chill Leviathan. Am I sure that's not it? That might be it. Spiral plant, here we go. Okay, cool. I did find what I was looking for. Hooray. Alright, now how do I get back to base? I think it's over here somewhere. Should probably scan these while I'm here, though. I think it'll be okay. Welcome back, Grim. So all I was saying was that we've actually passed that 2-hour mark now, so I'll actually probably be calling it a day in a second here. I'm just going to head back to base. And you missed it during the ads, but I actually found the thing that I was looking for, which was this spiral plant clipping. Which is good, because that means I can now grow more, and I don't have to go looking for it anymore.
Lizard.
Lizard indeed. Hey, by the way, is that image for the lizard too big on the screen? Like, should I make that smaller? Where are you at? Not you. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was too obnoxious on the screen or not. Alright. I need to put a beacon near my house, because I keep forgetting where it is. That's fair. I guess duration does affect it too. So... yeah, I think I'll just skip the usual thing I do at the end where I make sure my stats are full and just worry about that next time. I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look. But I do have to get back to base first, because that's kind of an important part. That's the one thing I'm not going to leave out, is actually getting back to base, and then I can worry about where to raid. There it is. I like building here specifically because this sparking wire is very clear underwater. Makes it real easy to find my way back once I'm in the general area. Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online. Gonna replace this though, because that will be something I'll forget next time. Good. Okay. So we'll save. Good. We'll quit. There we go. And let's look for somebody to raid. Who do we have online? Any friends? Oh, you know what? Sailing's online. I will send you to sailing. That is an easy decision to make. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate everyone for being here for the time you were. It means a lot that you come back to hang out, and I appreciate you all. I hope you have an excellent day, and I will see you hopefully next time. Bye-bye.